Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Thupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today. Amitabha Tathagata of Sukhavati, the western pure land of utmost bliss. Simu, Tanchen Katsu, Thupten Siddhi, Thupten Karma. All Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
Hola amigo, que quiero mucho. Sugoin, Jiba, Kimoji, Jumi, Yabi, Pinimpiri, Komawa.
First of all, let's welcome those from Malaysia, 24 disciples. Today, I would first like to say something about Sung Yen Lu Foundation. In principle, the foundation, the scope of the foundation has been stabilized. The CEO of the foundation, Lu Foqing, told me the recipients of the foundations are all in the state of Washington. There are many charitable foundations in the Washington states, or there are many charities, so it will regularly help the Jian An nursing home and the ICHS, the hospital, and also have granted many scholarships to poor students with good merits. Those are the basics. And of course, we have supported Nepali earthquake, and we also built schools in Nepal, Haiti, to help with the earthquake in Haiti, and also we have provided disaster relief support globally, and primarily in medical care and to help the less
学生，让他们受正规的教育，
the less
有奖学金，
advantage students,
一直都做得很平稳。
and we have been supporting the scholarships very
执
regularly.
行长卢国清博士，他本身告诉
So the CEO, the Dr. Lu Ho-ching, told me that recently,
我年之内
in a few
要
years,
转型，
it will be
他认为
transferred
这个圣燕路 Foundation 卢圣燕布施基金会
because it's, in her opinion,
都出自于生活中的同门，
that the grants came from Trubhuda School disciples.
帮助了
They made donations
布施基金会
to help the Sung Yen Lu Foundation,
转型成为国际性的救灾单位，
and it would change to become disaster relief
不只是在
charitable organization.
华盛顿，
So it will not be limited to only the state of Washington in America, but
因为
will be globally,
同门来自于全世界，
because the True Buddha School disciples come from all over the world.
而且金钱的来源也是全世界的弟子
And the funds also come from all over the world,
转型成为
donated by the True Buddha School
国际
disciples.
性的救灾单位，
So it will become the global
哪个国家发生
disaster relief
地水火风的灾难，
charity.
我们就到那里去帮忙。
So any disasters occurring in the world, we will provide our support
有
and
贫困，
funds there. So any disasters
可以
or
到
poverty will be helped
非洲，这个
rapidly.
还有很多这个
Like in Africa,
交迫的很小的国家，
and a poor
像那个
or needing smaller countries
好
like Ethiopia, where they live in grass huts without clothing,
这个孩子没有东西吃，
and children have no food to eat.
有贫病交迫，
So poor and sick.
所以不只是帮助医疗方面，也帮助他们的
So
灾难重建。
not only helping with the medical care, but also with the
所有国家
rebuilding
要
after the
去
disasters.
救助他们，
So it will provide reliefs to the disaster areas
这是
very swiftly.
Foundation 本身的志向。
So that's
而
the
这个
goal
圣言路 Foundation
of the Sung Yen Lu
不
Foundation.
限制于
The object.
在美国，现在是扩展到全世界。
So the Sung Yen Lu Foundation will not be limited to only the United States, but will be all over the world.
就是说，像师尊已经不在了，
So one more thing, if even after Grandmaster leaves the world, the Sangye Foundation will continue to operate.
第一代不在了。
If the first generation has passed, the Sangye Foundation will continue to operate. And even after the second generation passes, there would be the third generation. It would be generation upon generation.
那么谢谢同门，谢谢大家。
And thank you to the disciples. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the true school disciples.
谢谢所有赞助 Sangye Foundation 的。
And thank you to all disciples who have supported and donated to the Sangye Foundation.
这是马来西亚莲花安妮问的
Question
问题。
by Lianhua Ani from Malaysia. This is the Q&A.
他问的
The
众
questions.
生生世世
Sentient beings, life after life, due to ignorance,
导致不停的在轮回的系统
keep spinning endlessly within the system of samsara, never reaching an end.
地藏王菩萨的慈悲大愿
Siddhikapa Bodhisattva made the compassionate vow, I will not attain Buddhahood until hells are empty. And Grandmasters, you also made a compassionate vow, life after life I will deliver sentient beings. But we all know that sentient beings are forever
开贪嗔
bound by greed, anger, and
现
delusion.
实中我们都知道
In reality, we all know,
人类的
especially humans,
脾性
their bad habits and temperaments continually
要
persist.
这大愿就寥寥无期
To fulfill such a grand vow seems without
为
end.
何我们转世的
Since this is the case, why,
要
at the moment of rebirth, all of our memories from previous lives are completely erased?
这个循环的系统不是有很大的问题，
Doesn't that mean there is a serious flaw in this cycle?
也就是没有了记忆，
Because
人类就
it is precisely the lack of memory that causes humans to repeatedly make the same mistakes. So how can the hells ever become empty?
娑婆世界
So if in the next life we are reborn in the Saha world again,
犯错的记忆，
without memory from our past mistakes, we will surely accumulate more karma.
业障合
So this leads to endless
才能够完全
cycle. So when and how can karma be fully eliminated?
为什么
That's the
转世的
question.
时候啊，
Why, when we are being reborn,
过去世的记忆全部没
the
有，
memory from past lives are all erased?
应该让他们记住他们的，
They should remember their past lives
这样子免得再重新再犯错。
so they don't repeat their mistakes. That's what she meant, right?
现在请问大家，
Now I would like to ask everyone,
高明之士可以回答。
which wise and knowledgeable one can answer?
他意思是讲说，你转世
What she meant is when you're reincarnated into this life, you forget or forgot all of your past lives. So you continue to create karma. Endlessly. Anyone has a high opinion? Let's discuss it together. Why must we forget memory from the past? That's the question. Nobody raises their hand. Please say it again. Okay. Microphone. Give the microphone.
这个问题只是给大家参考一下，因为我曾经
This is for
看到过，
reference.
就是人类呢是
Once I saw
所以有一套系统，
that
是让人类要不
humanity
断的去忘记之前的这个
are sinners,
事情，让他重
so
新再
to
激
let
发
humans forget
通
everything
过各种贪
and
嗔痴
then
的这个磨
start
练，不断的激发，去突破他的。
to go through greed, anger, and delusion,
所以
and to
就
break
是
the
应该说
basic
大
nature
的系统
again.
里面，就是有一个像程序一样，就是故意
So we can say there's a system in the grain of the universe is to let humans to forget everything from the past, so that we can break through even better. If you can, then you would always cycle in this system. Anybody else?
对不起，师父，就是说
Sorry, I must not.
这个像是做阐释的妙明真心，
Based on Grandmaster's teaching on the wondrous, luminous, true mind, so that we can have such mastery in each and every lifetime. Microphone point.
顶礼师佛。其实我对这个问题有所怀疑，因为我觉得所谓的人不能看到因果，
I doubt
但是
this
事实上我们每一次都跟着因果在轮回。
everyone cannot see karma, but we follow the karma in our
都是
reincarnations.
前世的故人。
Like what Grandmaster said, everyone we meet is an old acquaintances, so we don't forget, we still remember, because samsara is eternal, so that's why we come again and again. Anyone else?
师父，我在这边，在你右手边。
Grandmaster, I'm here.
我是觉得，其实，如果一个人知道他哪天要死的话，我觉得其实他可能不会这么努力的做有些事情了。
If everyone knows they're dying that day, then they would not work very hard. If a person knows about their past, then they would be restricted or bound by it. And if you forget about the past, then you can cultivate better. If we have someone like Grandmaster, the Great Master, to guide us, then we can still get onto the right path, which is what we need.
邱慧玲顶礼师尊，顶礼阿弥陀佛。
To Huiling Home, Mr. Grandmaster and Amitabha Buddha.
念经的时候常会知道说
When we read the sutras, we know
前世因今生受者是，欲知今世因前世
so what we experience in this life are the effect of the past lives, and then what we create in this life will happen in the future. So actually the memories in the consciousness, the alaya consciousness.
如何
So whatever you do in this life,
佛法
how
是让你
to be close to Buddha
贪
Dharma
嗔痴慢疑的生活中受到的极大的苦楚、极大的乐，或者极大的什么事情，
by experiences extreme suffering or joy through greed, anger, and delusion, and then you want to
那
study Buddha Dharma.
这个我们来接受师尊的佛法，就是
So
等
in
待
this
师尊来指
lifetime,
引我们。
we can encounter Grandmaster's Buddha Dharma is to let Grandmaster to guide us, and with these affinities we all come to the true Buddha big family and know about our past lives.
其实大家都讲的
Actually, all you said
个人的想法
were reasonable.
是对的，
All of your opinions are right.
但是在佛陀
However,
还有讲过一句话，
according to the Buddha, he stated,
其实这个是不可思议的事，
this is inconceivable.
不可思议，
Inconceivable,
东西是不可思议。
beyond imagination. There are a few things that are inconceivable. One is karma. Karma is inconceivable.
就是业的不可思议。
The inconceivable karma.
楞严经里面有提的，
It's mentioned in the Surangama Sutra.
有个人的业，
There are individual
也
karma
有共同所造的业。
and shared collective karma.
你因为前世造了共同所造的业，
Because you have created a collective karma in the past
转
lives,
世的时间、地点
the reincarnation or rebirth would be different. The time and place of the rebirth would be different.
到那个地方，
But with shared karma,
个
then
人造的业，
they would go to the same place. So the individual karma is
那么共同
suffered individually,
就整
but
个
the collective karma will be experienced by the whole country, say.
讲起来就是属于
So
不可思议，
this is the
不可思议的。
inconceivable karma. Karma is inconceivable. It's beyond your imagination. It's something that you cannot even fathom or think about.
除非有
Unless
高明的、有智慧之士，
they are
他来点醒你，
the wise and
你才有办法去
supreme one that can guide you so that you can correct yourself by your own power.
信仰耶稣基督。
In my own case, I first started to believe in Jesus Christ in Christianity until high school.
我在高中的时候还当了主日学
In high school, I was a Bible study teacher,
而且我查经班，马
and
太、拉
also the Bible study.
加约翰
Mark, Matthew, Lucas, John, and Corinthians.
而且我知道，
And I know
只要拿过来，一打开，
that when you open the Bible,
中央就是诗篇，
at the center is the Psalms.
有7个记，旧约圣经里面有7个记。
7 verses,
创世纪开始，
7 period from Genesis,
从创世纪开始，就是
starting from Genesis,
创造天地。
is the beginning where the God created heaven and earth.
他一共做了，上帝创造天地，他一共做了
And when God created heaven and earth
第7天，他休息
for 6 days and he rested on the 7th day.
7日。
That's why we all rest on Sundays.
他创造天地，从创世纪、生命记，很多
From Genesis to
旧约圣经，
altogether 7 of them. That's in the Old
说
Testament.
信仰为什么会信基督教？
So why did I follow Christianity? What can I say?
因为呢，邻居
That's
有一
because
个小姐，我很喜欢，
I like a lady, a neighbor's
高雄市
girl, a neighborhood girl,
长老
and she was a Presbyterian Christian.
那我没办法，
So
我就跟着去教会，
I followed her to the church
一直到高中。
all the way to high school.
后来就到台中，这个读大学。
And then I went to Taichung for college.
读大学的时候，
And in college,
业力牵缠，
because I was bound by karma,
皇宫，很小的庙，
I went to the Jade Emperor Temple, a very small temple that some of you have
在那
visited.
里被点醒。
And I was awakened there.
你有使命要度众生，
You have a decree or
然后带我
a mission to deliver sentient beings.
带我游历的天上界，
And then they brought me for the whole night to travel through the heavens.
那个就是妙明真心显现，
That's the manifestation of the wondrous luminous true mind,
看遍了
traveling all over the heavens, have seen all the scenes in the heavens.
了解自己的过去式，
So I knew about my own past lives,
然后跟我指点，
and I was guided and pointed that I will deliver sentient beings in the future. I would deliver sentient beings in the future. So that's why there is Seng Yen Lu of today's. But I'm the one that will not forget my foundations.
佛教有佛教的道理，
Christianity has its own principles, and Buddhism, and so does Taoism.
我仍然尊敬耶稣基督。
So I still revere Jesus Christ
这个就是业，
and believe Him. So this is karma.
我跟这个所谓的迦南地、迦南地、
Mhm.
加利利海，其实是
So
加利利
the Sea of Galilee, it's actually a lake,
的地方，
That's the place where Jesus Christ spread the Gospels. That's in
耶
Palestine.
稣是犹太人，
Jesus was a Jew,
但是他度的弟子
but his disciples were Palestinians.
所以巴勒斯坦人
Therefore,
有业，
the Palestinians have the collective karma.
那个当初他度他的弟子，
Back then, when he delivered his disciples,
像彼得，
like Peter,
他就是渔夫，
a fisherman
海的渔夫。
from the Sea of Galilee,
他12个弟子，
the 12 apostles.
一个是当律师的，
One of them was a lawyer, more educated,
是好像不是很高层的人士，
but the rest were not from the high
大家
society.
都是信心非常的坚定。
However, they have a very strong faith in following Jesus.
那也是业呀、你有
That's also karma,
跟
karmic.
巴勒斯坦也有缘，
Because I had affinity with Palestine in the past.
所以我在基督教里面成长，
That's why I grew up in Christianity,
伯利恒，
like Bethlehem
像耶路撒冷，
or Jerusalem
像加利利海，
and the Sea of Galilee.
这些我都非常的清楚。
Those were very clear to me in my
这是
mind.
前世的业，所有的
That's
业
also karma from past lives. That's why
再来是道教，
I immerse in Christianity, and then Taoism,
佛教，
and only then Buddhism, Sakyamuni Buddha.
啊，这个是也是我人生的一个业。
It's also considered karma in my life. To be born in Taiwan too is also karmic.
啊，在哪个家庭长大
And to grow up in a certain family is also
是
karmic.
业，
And whatever you encounter is also karmic. Karma and reincarnation.
为什么会这样？
You can't escape them. Why?
有
Why is it like this?
大部分人
Because of the causes in the past lives.
有果，
In the Saha world, there are causes and effects. So,
回转
and karma and retributions,
在操纵，
rebirth and transmigration, they are all controlled by karma, by the power of karma.
我坦白跟大家讲，
Frankly
就
speaking,
让你知道前世是怎么样，
to let you know
这一
what
世
the
的
past
习
lives
性
are,
是改不了，
that your habitual tendencies in this lifetime still unchanged,
就
still
是你知
stick
道
around.
前世做了很不好的事，
Even if you know that you have done something horrible in the past life
改正想要改正也改
and
不
you
了，
want to change it, you cannot.
这是业力牵缠的。
That's because you're bound by your karma, by the power of
用了
karma.
很多的方法，
Sakyamuni Buddha used many
84000
methods.
种病，
Like humans have 84,000 kinds of ailments or sicknesses or
释
karma.
迦牟尼佛有84000
So Sakyamuni Buddha has 84 different kinds of Buddha Dharma to deliver sentient beings and to give the appropriate remedy for the illness.
这是不可思议。
That's inconceivable. It's beyond
就
imagination.
让你知道了，
Even if you
有些
know,
人还是没有办法脱离。
even if it's known to you, some people still cannot live with
业
themselves.
力把你拉住，
Why? Because you're bound by the power of your own karma.
有力量
Unless you have
把你的
practiced
业障
Buddhism
给它消除掉，
and you have power to eradicate your own karma.
你才能够得到
Only then
真心。
you would be able to attain the wondrous luminous true mind.
否则
Otherwise,
前世因
the causes of the past life and the effects of the results in the present life,
但这一世的果也是因，
but the effects or the results of this present life would become
这就是
causes and it will become the results or effects in the future life. So
这一
that's
世做
the
了什么，
reincarnation or the
你
transmigration.
就可以臆想到你过去世做了什么。
So what you do in this present life can tell you what you have done in the past life.
下一世一样又来，
If you still cannot correct yourself, then it will happen again in the future lives,
一直轮回不止。
continually cycling.
这本来的这因缘果报就是这样子。
That's how the cause and effect, karma and retributions are all about.
能够改变的话，
If you can
靠
change,
你自己本身修行的力量，
you
不管如何，
must rely on the power of your own spiritual cultivation.
大过
No matter
所造的业
what
障，
has happened in the past, if you can make the power of your spiritual cultivation is greater than the power of your karma, then you can leave behind the sufferings, birth and death, and be reborn in the Pure Land.
因为妙明真心在每一个人身上，
And because the wondrous luminous true mind is on
妙
everybody's
明真心以后，
body,
你自己把它
by understanding the wondrous luminous true mind, you
你就可以
apply it, implement it, then you can change your own destiny, you can change your own karma,
就可以成为无上正等正觉，
then you can
可以
attain
自在
the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the unexcelled perfect enlightenment. Then you can be in control of yourself, have self-mastery, and don't have to be bound by rebirth or
是讲因缘，
reincarnation again. So in terms of worldly dharma, it talks about cause, effect, karma, and retributions. In terms of transcendental beyond worldly,
妙明真心
because you cultivate spiritually, you enlighten, and you have manifest the wondrous luminous true mind, then you can abandon the rebirth
所以
cycle
我们珍惜佛法，
and samsara. That's why we want to treasure Buddha Dharma. This is it. Otherwise, you will continually cycle in samsara.
师尊发了
The vows made by Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva or by Grandmaster are as such
用84000法门，
to apply 84,000 different
8000种业，
Dharma doors to alleviate the 84,000 different kinds of karma or illnesses
果是因
of sentient beings. That's why the Buddha remedy
给你这个药，
according to the illness. Because you have this illness, you're given this remedy
你才能够超
to alleviate it so that you can transcend and be reborn in the Pure Land and have attainment and not be reincarnated again, liberated from the rebirth cycle.
有的人还是可以记忆到前世，
Some people can still remember the past lives, and Grandmaster had too.
师尊因为修行，
We all know Grandmaster
忆起
because
前世的
because Grandmaster has cultivated spiritually.
如何使得我的 都知道。
I would know or remember how I died in my past life.
我死的时候看着周边的人，
When I was dying, I saw all the people around me looking at
周
me,
边的人，
and I was looking at all the people around me, remembering all their faces, so that in this lifetime,
我们就是重逢。
we are reuniting. We meet again.
是有人能够记忆前世的事情，
So there are people who can remember things from past lives,
因为他的修行的关系。
and that's due to spiritual cultivation.
所以师尊过去是做了什么？
So what Grandmaster has done in the past lives,
有缘的人重新
and people with affinities would reunite again,
痛哭流涕呀、
and crying their hearts
上
out.
礼拜不是哭得要死，
Like last week I did, right?
就碰到前世的人啊，
Because I encountered people from past lives.
你知道隔世重逢哎，
So reunion
那个死
from past life.
那他自己本身也知道，
And she knew too.
所以一见面他就说是
So as soon as we met,
师尊
she said, I would like to ask Grandmaster to
就
confirm.
是
And I said, no need, you are.
结果两个人都流泪。
And then both cried.
隔世重逢，
So reunion across lives,
喜极而泣呀、
across lifetimes. So this is
见面几天，
called short joys, only getting together for short few days and then separation again.
人生不过是生死，
Human lives are only about births and deaths.
爱情不过是
Romantic love is just about getting together and growing apart.
心情也不过是高兴
Emotions
跟忧伤。
are just joy and grief.
生活也不过是好坏，
Life is just about good and bad, good or bad.
这个才叫人生。
That's human life.
所以你过去做了什么，
So what you have done in the past lives, whatever you suffer, that's it. So whatever you do in this life would become the effects in the future lives.
这也是轮回。
That's also
所以我们要好好的
reincarnation or cycle.
好好学习这个。
That's why we should cherish and practice, study and practice the teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha so that you can eradicate your own karma.
好像藏肉的净土中，
And in the future, by relying on the chanting, mindful chanting of the Pure Land School, there is a method to become a Buddha in 7 days. Practice well,
将来自己也会有成就。
so in the future you can also have attainments.
你就可以不用再轮回了。
then you don't need to be reincarnated
还
again.
是在轮回。
Otherwise, you're still bound by the rebirth cycle. Then, of course, hells will
沙婆
never
世界
be empty.
也是一样，
And the same with the Saha world,
最后也是成住坏空啊。
that at the end, it's still creation, development, deterioration, and emptiness.
这样大概可以清楚一点，
So,
这些大概可以清楚。
this would be clearer, right? Generally.
他居然看了，讲了地藏王菩萨
Since she mentioned Siddhikarbha Bodhisattva
功德品，地藏王菩萨
in the Siddhikarbha Sutra,
看了那个地藏经里面
there is a chapter
那个叫什么较量功德品。 哦，它里面有很多，你做了什么？
it's the chapter on
有些功德
comparing merits and virtues.
无尽无量，
Some merits are boundless
做了什么样子的
and
功德
infinite.
可以到哪个境界？
So, whatever merits you have generated, you can go to a certain realm.
天王，
You can become a Mahabrahma Deva.
你可以变成富翁，
You can become a really wealthy man,
你可以
wealthy
变成
person,
高贵的人，
or a noble person,
你也可以到28天。
or you can go to the 28 heavens.
有些功德
And some merits
是在无量界之中，将来必定成佛。
is in the innumerable kalpas you will attain Buddhahood.
地藏经里面，
It's mentioned in the Siddhikarbha
因为
Sutra
你做了这样
clearly.
子的功德，
Whatever merits you have generated, you would have
这也是因为
the corresponding attainment. That's also cause and effect.
啊，讲了这么多，
After so much, let's share some jokes.
上火车以前，
Before getting on the train, Mom
验票的人
continually
问你的年龄，你就说
telling the kid, if the conductor asks you your age, say 5.
多大了，
And sure enough, the person who checked the tickets asked, how old are you? And he answered 5.
验票人员问，5岁就这么大，
And
还
then
有多少
the officer asks,
满6岁呢？
you're so big.
我回答
How many more days will you be 6? And he replied, when we get off the train, the ticket inspector.
上个礼拜去参加，以前你
Last week, I attended my ex-girlfriend's wedding.
看到我就问我，
When the bride saw me, she asked me, who are you?
以前他女朋友的男朋友，前男友，就讲，
So he said, oh, I came here to see you.
以前追过你的老婆，
Hey, I was chasing after
也不
the wife, and she said that I'd rather marry a dog than you. 一个富二代开着跑车， The son of a rich
创
family drove a sports car and then
他不但不
hit
道歉， 海火冒三丈的火，
hit something. And then no, he did not apologize and got really angry. Why didn't you run away when you saw my car coming? And the young man was just dumbfounded. And then the rich
爬起来
youngster said,
下巴一拳，
continue.
富二代，
And then the kid
你为什么打人呢？
slapped
小猴子回
the
答，
rich guy.
拳头过来，你为什么不抖？
And why did you hit me? And then the kid replied, why didn't you avoid my punch, my fist?
我常常给女朋友讲，
I often told my
遇
girlfriend,
到事情你不要慌张，
when you encounter a problem, don't be panic. Just drink a mouthful of water and you will come down.
那一天呐、啊，
So
我
that day,
失足落水，
I slipped and fell into the water.
不要慌，
And then the girlfriend was panicking and then told me, don't be panic, just drink a mouthful of water.
好，我们进入这个楞严经。
Now let's discuss the Surangama Sutra.
这释迦牟尼佛又跟阿难讲了，
Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda,
你虽先悟，本觉妙明。
although you have already awakened to the pure awareness of the wondrous and luminous nature of the
本觉
mind,
妙明就是妙明真心。
so
这个妙明真
that's the
心
wondrous, luminous true
不
mind,
是因缘所成，
that it is neither born of causes and condition,
也不是自然，
nor of self-nature.
但是你还是不明白
Yet you still do not fully
这个妙明
understand
真心，
that this wondrous, luminous true mind
它是不是合生的？
is neither produced from
不是
aggregates,
自然，不是因缘，
so not dependent arising, not self-arising, and not from aggregates or combination, nor from
也不
non-aggregates.
是不合。
So neither from aggregates nor non-aggregates. So the Venerable Ananda
重复以前的那个话，重复以前的话问你：你今天
So now I will now again ask
世
you,
间的妄想和诸因
you still
而至疑惑，你还是有
think or have the idea,
心和起则
you still have deluded thoughts,
妙境见经，
that all worldly phenomena arise through the agglomerations of deluded thoughts and causes
为
conditions.
意
And therefore you remain confused, thinking that the realizations of Bodhi also arises from agglomerations. So now I ask you,
赛和
this pure and subtle seeing awareness that you now possess, is it inherent in brightness, in darkness, in openness, in obstruction?
你想
Sakyamuni Buddha asked him,
跟什么合在一起？
so what is the wondrous luminous true mind combined with brightness
还是跟黑暗合在
or
一起？
darkness,
是跟空合在一起，
in openness or emptiness
还是被围堵合在一起？
or obstructions?
意思就是被挡住的，合在一起。
So it's blocked.
释迦牟尼佛重新又讲，重新过去的，就是
So Sakyamuni Buddha repeated again about brightness, darkness, openness, and
这是
obstruction.
什么？
So what does the wondrous luminous true mind is combined with what? But as I have said, it's not. So it's not combination and it's also not combination. So none of those, nothing.
他又重新，释迦牟尼佛又重复以前的话跟阿难尊者讲。
So Sakyamuni Buddha repeated the words from the past to Ananda again. So if you say it is combined with brightness, then you can only see brightness. You can't see anything else. So you can see an appearance, but what would the mixed image look like? You can see many different visions. But if there is no wondrous luminous true mind, how can you see brightness? If you see brightness, then how can seeing perceive itself? If you see brightness, you cannot see darkness. If you see darkness, you cannot see brightness. So how can you see both? So brightness and darkness cannot be combined, cannot be together. So when our eyes see brightness, that's because your eyes is in union with the brightness. But can your ears see the brightness? You cannot. It will also be talked about here. That the wondrous luminous true mind is perfect, fully complete. That's why it's not an aggregate or combination. I just put it in simple terms. The wondrous luminous true mind is perfect and everywhere, and the only one, absolute. It's not combined with anything. So the rest, like seeing openness or emptiness, and you cannot see anything else. If you see clouds in the sky, then that's not emptiness. It's blocked by the cloud. The sky is blocked by the dark clouds. You cannot see the empty sky. But the wondrous luminous true mind is not like that. It's perfect. It's everywhere. So it's not a combination. It's not an aggregate, and the same with the rest. Darkness, openness, or obstruction. So once makes the pure nature of brightness would be lost if brightness loses its clarity. Then here it talks that the wondrous luminous true mind is not an aggregate, but everything else in the Saha world is an aggregate. Let me give you an example. You are an aggregate. Grandmaster too is an aggregate or combination. I often say this. The long sperm of the father and the round egg of the mother combined together become you. And so what are you? You're an aggregate of the earth, water, fire, and wind, the four elements. What are you transformed from? From the sperm and egg. And everything, materials are the same. A house is an aggregate.
里面有钢筋、
There are steel rods, cement, sand, earth, or soil
才盖起来一栋房子。
to build a house.
我们家上是木头的房子，
And our homes, our houses are wooden houses. So
要有铁，
they need nails,
也要 wood，
iron, and wood
才建起一栋房子。房子
to
也是
make a house. So a house is also an aggregate.
有木头，
Also glasses,
钢筋，
wood,
有瓦，
nails, steel,
合合的东西。
and tiles.
这世上
So
没有一样不是合合。
everything in this world is an aggregate. A car
有金属、
is comprised of metal,
塑
wood,
胶，
plastics,
有很多的东西。
and many things combined together to make a car.
妙明经真心，
And the wondrous luminous true mind is not an aggregate,
光明和
so it cannot be combined with brightness. Because if it is combined with brightness, you cannot see darkness. If it's combined with darkness, you cannot see brightness.
跟虚空和，
If it's combined with the sky, you cannot see the dark clouds. And you're combined with the dark clouds, you cannot see the sky.
释迦牟尼佛就是
So Sakyamuni Buddha
跟阿难尊者讲，
is telling Ananda
妙明真心不是因缘所产生的，
that the wondrous luminous true mind
也不是
does
自然
not arise
它
from
就存在的，
dependent arising and also not from
也不
self-arising,
是和合，
that it is self-existing, it's not self-existing, and it's also not an
不
aggregate.
可思议，
So what is it? It is inconceivable. As I said,
说
it's unspeakable.
真的解释给阿难听，阿难还是不懂。还是
So Sakyamuni Buddha explained as such, but still Ananda could not understand, even after so much
弟
explanations.
子讲，
A disciple
世
said,
尊看到去韩国
"The master went to Korea
是有力光，
and saw medicine Tathagata
看到日光偏照，
of the lapis lazuli light realm and sunlight radiance bodhisattva, moonlight radiance bodhisattva, medicine king bodhisattva, medicine lord bodhisattva,
要插成这样，
and the 8 great bodhisattvas and the 12 medicine generals."
那位同门讲，这个是因
The
缘，
disciple said,
有因缘的，
"That's causes and conditions. If you didn't go to
药
Korea,
师佛
if you didn't pay homage to Medicine Buddha, how could
所有的
see
线索你都看到，
Medicine Buddha and all his retinue that you saw?
但其实也不是因缘，为什么？
But it is not causes and
因为我只是
conditions.
去拜
Why?
药师佛，
Because I just went to pay
我
homage
并没有
to the Medicine Buddha. I did not think about wanting to see. I did not think or did not want to see anything.
它就显现，
And they appeared. They just appeared.
不是有我想看，
It's not because I wanted to see.
就是让你知道，
They just wanted to let you know.
你可以尽虚空遍法界，
In all Dharma realms, in all the cosmic space.
那也算是一个
you can reach.
修行的境界。
That's considered a realm of spiritual cultivation.
我是因为拜药师佛，
But it's not because I pay homage to Medicine Buddha
药师
that I saw Medicine Buddha and his retinue.
像是因缘，
It seems to be cause and effect, causes and conditions, but I did not have a thought about wanting to see or about seeing.
所以我们的悟境也是这样子。
So
开悟的时候，
the realm of our enlightenment or realization is also like that.
明白以前
When you are enlightened, all of a sudden it's all open up and you understand everything.
真心的显现。
That's the appearance of the wondrous luminous true mind.
我告诉你，
It's not combined with anything.
看到了，
Otherwise,
那你也跟着师尊一样，
Grandmaster had that sighting, and then you followed Grandmaster, you went to Korea and you went to
格利亚的庆州，
Daegu.
有一个州叫庆州吧。
That's one of the province,
然后
Cheonggu.
你去拜药师佛，
And then you pray to Medicine Buddha, and you can see if the Medicine Buddha would appear for you to
每个
see.
人不一样啊。
See, everyone is different.
我有这个因，我要去格利亚，去庆州，
So I have this cause to go to Korea, to Gyeongju, I
拜
think,
来以后，你也要跟师尊一样。
in pay homage to the Medicine Buddha. And then you also thought, I want to see Medicine Buddha, the 12 medicine channels, and all his retinue.
事实上，不是每一个人都一样的。你有这个
But
因，
it's not
但是
not everyone is the same. So you have the cause, but you don't have the result.
所以不算是因果。
So that's not considered cause and effect,
跟药师佛，
and it's it's
所以
not
我看到药师佛，
a combination either. Because I was in union with Medicine Buddha, that's why I saw Medicine Buddha. That's not the case either.
不是和合，也不是自然。
And it's not natural or self-arising either.
那每个人都来自然好。
That you just see it naturally, then everybody can do that, but that's not the case.
释迦牟尼佛就一直在解释这个问题。
So Sakyamuni Buddha is continually
上的东西，
explaining this,
物质世界，全部都是和合。
that in the material world, the whole Saha world
水
consists of aggregates. Everything is aggregates in the Saha world.
就是
Earth and water combined, that's you.
3点水，一个泥。那是和合啊，水泥就是和合。
So that's an aggregate.
沙、土、水合起来，就变成水泥。
So
和合的东西，
the combination of sand, water, and mud that becomes
木头的吧，
a block. And this
把它
seat here is wood.
形象，
When you create a form out of wood and then nailed together, it would become a chair.
每样东西都是的，衣服也是啊，它里面有颜色，有丝，另外呢，有一
And
些是
there are colors and
纺织，用
the
线把
materials
它编织。
and thread.
也不叫颜色，不是衣服。
So it's not called thread or color, it's called clothes. Everything is an aggregate.
会谈到这个啊，我觉得释迦牟尼佛非常的啰嗦。
So I find Sakyamuni Buddha to be really wordy.
讲清楚明白就好，何必跟阿难讲那么多？
Just explain yourself, that's good enough. There's no need to talk to Ananda that much. And talking about the 18 realms, I'd like to talk about this the prayer words.
这个四，还讲到四六四，讲到好多五音，将来都会讲到。
So talking about six consciousness, the five aggregates, and we'll talk about that in the future.
楞严经根本是什么？就是论文嘛。
So Surangama Sutra is like a thesis.
在写论文呢。
So it's like writing a thesis. It's really very dry.
举例让大家知道，它不是自然。
So I just give an example. It's not self-arising or natural, and it's not dependent arising or causes and conditions, and it's not an aggregate or combination, and it's also not non-aggregates. So because there is a wondrous luminous true mind in everything, it's just that you have forgotten the wondrous luminous true mind. So all you see is illusions and false, very false and illusory seeing. Everything that we see is very false and illusory.
男女朋友吵架，男朋友
and the boyfriend and girlfriend are arguing,
朋友的猫玩，
and then the boyfriend was trying to make up and then play with the girlfriend's cat. And then the girlfriend scolded, "Why are you playing with the pig?"
也不是猪哎。
And the boyfriend said, "But this is a cat, it's not a
跟我
pig."
讲，我是在跟猫讲话，你插什么嘴？
And then the girlfriend said, "Oh, I'm talking to the cat. Why are you interrupting?"
你花过最冤枉的钱是什么？
What is the most
好气成
money that you spend
吹冷气，
uh,
结果买了一大堆东西回家以后，刮冷气没有关，
spend
最冤枉。
you waste money? The worst is that you try to save money by going to the department stores for aircon, but then you forgot to turn off the aircon at home.
iPhone 12 P
Or even after breaking up for 2 years, I'm still paying the monthly loan for her iPhone.
对，花了钱去测自己的智商，
The most unfair wasting.
结果测出我智能不足。
I was trying to test my IQ, but it turned out the result was that I have no intellect.
这个慧经讲的话哈，胖子是很性感的，
This is a joke of Hui Jin.
都是紧身衣，
The the chubby ones are always sexy because every clothes that they wear are all
圣尊
a
莲
tight
生复活宝贵
clothing.
的法语开
Omani
示
pemi hon.
雷藏寺法务